Hey everybody, welcome back to The Pressing Matters. I'm Scott. Thank you for tuning in today, and thank you for your support. When we think about the great stereo classical audiophile labels of the past, we usually think of EMI, maybe Decca and their full frequency stereophonic sound records, of course RCA Living Stereo and Mercury Living Presence. We rarely think about Capitol and their full dimensional stereo releases. However, Capitol had a long history of classical recording going back into the mono era and continuing into the stereo era, and many of those releases are very desirable. None more desirable than this. This is Milstein Masterpieces, and I'm going to talk about the original pressing and the reissue from Analogue Productions. Before I get started, if you're new and haven't already, please consider subscribing. It is the best way to support the channel. Also, there is a feature called Super Thanks that's located beneath every video. If you'd like to donate a few dollars to the Pressing Matters to help continue what I do, it's much appreciated, and it's a very safe and easy thing that YouTube has built into the platform. Just look below for the icon that says thanks with a heart around it. I remember finding this original pressing at my favorite record haunt, which was called Bargain Barn. It was actually a thrift store, huge, big barn of a place in Miami. And it was a charity, and people were donating their records left and right. There was boxes arriving daily, and they put them all out. And I would go every afternoon and flip through and see if there was anything that I'd wanted. And one day I flipped past this and I said, wait a minute, I think this is a valuable record. First of all, it's an early violin record, which automatically puts it in the maybe category. It's Milstein, a noted artist as well. And it's early Capitol. And I said, let me get this. It's only $1. I'm going to get it. I brought it home. I looked it up somewhere, and I found that a near mint pressing of the original issue was going for like $500. And I estimated my copy here was probably worth about $350. I might have been being a little generous because the jacket's not perfect. It's got a problem on the spine, but otherwise the release looks really good. It came with the original paper inner sleeve, heralding the arrival of full dimensional stereo from Capitol. And it was on the original label, so it was a first pressing that looks like this. Beautiful condition too. I filed it away. I resisted selling it because I knew that someday I probably would want to return to this record, and I did. If you watch my last classical video, it was on RCA Living Stereo. It was titled The Final Act for Analogue Productions Living Stereo. And although that might be a little bit of a dramatic title, I wanted to get your attention because the situation is not good. Even since I published that video, I've noticed 2 more titles going out of stock. And they're not ones that I covered. Bolero was one of them, Charles Munch and the Boston Symphony Bolero. And the other is Morton Gould's Billy the Kid and Rodeo. So they are dropping like flies. And I don't know what's going on with Nevsky. I just reviewed it. But it's in the number 2 spot of sellers, so I think that's going to drop off soon too. I decided to do a system-wide search on acoustic sounds to see what classical vinyl was actually in stock across all labels. I noticed Testament, all of my favorite titles are no longer available. There are still some left, which are good too. Speaker's Corner, they're all gone. All the classical Mercuries are gone. They're only available on secondary market in the vinyl vault. So there's that too. I was looking and I noticed this record. I said, oh, that's right. I forgot that they did this. I had it on my wish list. And I said, let me pull out my original copy to see how I like it. I hadn't played it on my current system. I hadn't played it in years. I cleaned it up, put it on the system, and I was just in heaven. This is a great record. No wonder people pay $500 for this. man, this record has the most beautiful sound, a wonderful glow. It's Walter Susskind in the Concert Arts Orchestra. You may not recognize the Concert Arts Orchestra. They're not a well-known name, but they do an admirable job with this selection of short pieces for violin and orchestra. There are pieces from Mozart, Beethoven, Stravinsky, Saint Saens, and others. Very famous pieces, and the sound is beautiful, early stereo. I was captivated by the performance. Milstein is just magnificent on this record. It's no wonder that violin aficionados love this record, and I knew immediately why when I heard this. I said, I've got to order this reissue and see how it holds up to the original. If it can even come close, it's a great bargain for music lovers and audiophiles and record collectors, because this new reissue goes for $40. The Milstein Masterpieces on the original pressing has held its value pretty much. It's still hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get a great copy. And honestly, the Capitol vinyl is, it's okay. It's not great. Not like, a modern quality record pressing job. So I was very curious how this would turn out. I ordered it. I've had it for a few days. I've listened to it several times. And to my delight, they've come very close and in some ways surpassed the original pressing. The original pressing does have a magical glow about it. It's incandescent. It just like glows from within. And I love that about the original. However, this is not a modern take on things. This is subtly enhanced, just like I would expect Kevin Gray to do. It's not bright. It's not overly detailed. It still has a lush, warm sound. Just a little bit of more detail in the string, the bow. The tonality is brought out a little bit more. There's less distortion overall in the orchestral parts. And this record has never sounded better. The original pressing, like I said, has some magic, but you're going to pay for that magic. It's $500 or maybe $300 if you're lucky. To get a reissue of this caliber done with taste and care is something worth mentioning. The jacket looks great, by the way. It's a low luster jacket, unlike the glossy cover slick of the original, but otherwise it looks beautiful. The reproduction is great. They've reproduced the original labels as well. They look very nice. Pressing is immaculate. The sound is wonderful. The performances are just amazing. Amazing. I love Nathan Milstein. And I've collected a number of his records. I'm going to show you a couple that are unfortunately no longer available, but these were done by Cisco. This is Milstein with Steinberg in the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra and Dvorak and Glazunov concertos. And this one is Tchaikovsky violin concerto with Steinberg in the Pittsburgh also. Those were beautiful reissues. I also have this award-winning set that was done by Deutsche Grammophon. This is the original pressing. As you can see all the awards it won. It's a very famous record as well. For music fans who want a gorgeous violin record, absolutely gorgeous, that you will treasure for the rest of your life, get the Milstein Masterpieces. It's a no-brainer. It's a beautiful record, really well done, sounds great, quiet vinyl, and a classic performance from Nathan Milstein. You can't go wrong with this reissue. Let me know what you think in the comments. Until next time, I'm Scott for The Pressing Matters. Have a great day.